Accusation. Have you ever been accused of something you know nothing about? Something that you're not? I was just barely 11. Barely. That means not up to 11 when I was accused of witchcraft. Yes. You see, that singular act changed my mindset. I saw this world as a place where to survive we need to fight. I was just 11. I was just a kid, a child, a baby, knew nothing about anything, just growing up to see the world. And normally, it was a kind of tradition. My father then used to take us out on weekends or when we have holidays or meeting breaks. We take us to see our grandparents from both sides. In the village, we'll go see uncles and aunties and cousins. It was fun. We always, we just hop into the car, look we're dressed, and we just, go see our grandparents in the village. So it was really fun. For this particular incident, my father just told us this weekend we're going out. Both of us were going somewhere. Notice he didn't say where we're going to. Before, he would tell us. And so normal, we just, we didn't actually get dressed like we used to. We just wore our car job, we looked neat and everything. We got into the car and got to this village. Immediately we stepped into this apartment. This man was staring at me and he called me forward. Barely 2-3 minutes when we stepped in. He said I should kneel down. I knelt down as a child. Then he said, "Where's the aeroplane that used to fly in the night?" For me it was a joke. I wanted to laugh because we joke a lot in the house, so I wanted to laugh. But he said, "Look at me, I'm not serious. Where's the plane that you used to fly in the night? If you don't say anything, I'm going to deal with you." I stood up and I walked out. I started crying. I walked to the end of the street and I looked behind. My mom was coming behind me and I said, "I'm not going to go back to the house." I was crying. Seriously, I was really crying. I felt alone for the first time in my life. And so we got into the car and got home. I couldn't sleep in that house. My mom now took me to one of my auntie that lives in an estate very close to where we live. I slept there for 3 days because I was crying all day. I was crying. I said I would not take that. As a young child, I had a mind of my own. I think it's just the way we're brought up. We all just had a mind. My father gave us that space to actually, build up your mind. So I said, I'm not going to take this. They are going to find out. How they're going to find, I don't know. For I know I couldn't take it. I was crying all day. My grandfather came. He was very angry with my father. I remember the incident. He came and he said, "No, why should my father do such a thing? This is not it at all." My grandfather was very angry. My grandmom was angry. My aunts, the ones that heard, neighbors in the streets, people were like, "No, something is wrong somewhere." And so, because I was really not myself, I was crying. I cried. The tears I shared at that age, I think I shared a lifetime tears, I shed a lifetime tears. I cried to the extent that I couldn't find tears anymore, but I was wailing. And then my mom now, I told my mother that this thing, I'm not going to take it except they have to go somewhere else. Where, I don't know. So I remember we went to one white garment church. My mom and she took me there, and these people with white, they came and said, and the man said, for them to look into the issues and everything, they have to sew a garment for me. I have to stay in the church for 3 months. And my mom didn't buy that. I didn't buy that. I want an instant report. I want an instant result. And we left there. Then we went to the conventry at the seminary where the bishop caught. Then we went to see one of the priests there. I remember the priest very well. He looked at me. He just patted me on my back, said I should not cry, I should not worry, everything is okay. The future. I remember his words. He said, in the future, the truth will be revealed. That I should not worry. He said some psalms over me and the rest. He said the future will tell. But for me, I was too small to process that future thing. I wanted an instant results, vindication. I wanted it. And then, because I was not giving up on it, I was not eating, I was always crying. My mom then took me to one of their women. They sell white garment stuff. They said that woman, according to them, that she's a witch, that if she sees anyone that is part of them, then she will know. So she took me. The woman had a shop in one area. So we went to meet the woman at the shop, and the woman came out. And my mom, she said that because the church they used to attend is along the street where we stayed. So she knew me. She said, "Are you sick? Are you crying?" My mom told her everything. Then she said, "No, this child is not a witch. That somebody wore her the dress. Somebody wore her the dress, and so that's it." So I felt vindicated, and we got home. Then my mother told my father that, "Look at what they said." Then he said, "Okay," but still, in my heart, I knew I'm face to face with a world that is brutal. So I told myself, I'm going to look for that man someday in my life. I'm going to look for that man. I'm going to look for that man. I said it because I knew nothing to be accused at that age. I was just waiting to just get to the age where I will leave the house. I wanted to leave the house in the mornings because I couldn't stand it. But the good thing I observed within my brothers and sisters, nobody treated me as if something happened, because we are naive. Everybody was just confused. For me, I was that thing. Turned my thoughts around in life. I knew I was going to fight my life. I said, this life I have to fight through, and I didn't allow that thing strip me of my self-esteem. I didn't allow it to strip me of my dignity. I didn't allow it in any way. I fought against it. And so when I finished secondary school, I opted for fashion and design, and so I went to Lagos. Barely a year plus, I gave my life, under a Pastor Thompson Agabi. That man was a father to me, of blessed memory. He was a father to me. He stood by me all through. He followed me in the faith. He followed me. Where they needed a father, he was there. When there was a problem, he was there for me. Where I lacked, he provided. He was just a darling father to me. He stood by me. My God, that man planted me in the faith. He planted me in the faith. Taught me scriptures. You could see the life of Christ in that man. And so when I gave my life, that was when I knew, yes, I'm in the right place. I said, this accusation, I'm going to pay back by knowing God, by knowing Christ. The devil wanted to destroy me before my timing. If I had allowed that incident to get to my soul, I wouldn't have been where I am this day. I wouldn't have been, and I see so many people have been accused. Some, because of that accusation, they've never been themselves. But I did not allow it. I didn't. Something strange happened. And so while I was back in Warri, I'd finished my university and everything, and I was having this fellowship of prayer, just praying and studying the word. I like to teach scriptures because I like to read, and God reveals a lot of things to me. So each time I talk to people, I always bring out a particular aspect of me, And so I went to this house to have a fellowship with a friend of mine. We had a night vigil and we prayed and everything. And so that night, after praying, it was towards 5 o'clock, and she started telling me incidents, things that happened in their life. That there was a man in their village who was always accusing people of witchcraft, children, adult destroyed marriages, accusing wives or husbands of witchcraft and everything. And someday, the villagers, they gathered to beat up the man. And he ran out of the country. So I asked what village. He told me the village. I remember that's the same man, but I didn't say anything. I said, where is this man? He said, the man is in America. Oh, I said, well, I lost that there. If the man was in Lagos, I would have looked for him. Because I wanted to see, I wanted to ask him questions. I wanted to see and go and meet him and ask him why he did what he did. And another mind, before I gave my life to Christ, I was like, if I see this man, I'm going to fight him. But I really don't know how to fight, that's the thing. But I said, I'm going to muster everything I have to make sure that I deal with this man. I said I was going to even learn how to do the judo, I was going to learn wrestling. I wanted to, but you see, when I started digging into scriptures, that was when I knew that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, to be accused. When I started digging into scriptures, I knew Jesus was also accused of it. I said, who am I? Who am I? You know, when you're accused, some people are accused before they ever. The devil will come before your time, before your shine, to accuse you of things that you know nothing of. So that shine will come with a lot of questions, and a lot of questions that, you know, if God is not with you, you can defend yourself. Being accused can be traumatizing. But I fought against it as a child. I fought against it and never allowed it to get me down. The only thing that was in my mind was, I'm going to fight this world. I'm not going to lay back and see this world put me down. Wow. Experience.